Alrighty then, hello there everybody, this is Norris, and I guess you could say this is sort of a test video, but hello and welcome to the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer gameplay video thing. I say test because I'm not entirely sure how this will exactly work out. It's sort of like doing a let's play. I mean, the length is generally going to be the same, and I am not going to kill anything apparently. Awesome. But yeah, doing a live commentary as I play this at the moment. As you can see, just kind of running around trying to find just even something to kill. As you can tell, I am playing as the Human Vanguard. Pretty good class in my opinion. Definitely can output a lot of damage without going down too often, so long as you know what you're doing. Unfortunately, I'm not one of those people, so I might go down a lot. Especially if the circumstances don't go in my favor, and by that I mean I get stumbled a lot by Geth Primes. So, yep, we are going up against the Geth, and I am playing on silver. Unfortunately, my connection isn't good enough for gold because tried gold earlier today, and I was lagging a little bit, so I got screwed over a lot. Anybody else over here? Nope. Okay. But, yeah, Human Vanguard, very hard-hitting class, very good for the Biotic Charge Nova combo that you can set up, especially considering that the Nova cooldown isn't directly related to the Biotic Charge cooldown, so just charge, spam melee, it has no cooldown since it's based entirely off of your barriers. And the Biotic Charge is basically used to recharge the barriers that get reduced by the Nova. Sort of a hard-hitting 1-2 punch, although in this case it's a 1-2-3 combo, considering that I have it spec to where the Nova does only, or gets rid of only 50% of your barriers. And I am congested. Allergies. Not fun. Not fun at all. I know that there's a hunter in here, but I'm just not entirely sure where. Hello. Goodbye. So yeah, very good close quarters sort of class, but you do have to be careful. With the Geth, it's not too much trouble, but you can still get screwed over quite a bit. And what I'm talking about is the whole thing with executions. And if you've played Mass Effect 3 multiplayer for any period of time, then you know what I mean when I say executions. As in, a boss enemy grabs you and instantly kills you. Ugh. Phlegm. So much phlegm. So yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate, especially considering how the Vanguard class plays. The Vanguard is all about getting up in people's face and just completely wrecking it. Although with the boss characters that can be a little bit dangerous. Not too big of a deal with the Geth, but unfortunately you can still get stumbled, and that could lead to some very bad situations, especially if there's a pyro nearby. Because the pyros, as I'm sure you probably already know, they get rid of your health so freaking fast that it's ridiculous. Yeah, the Geth Prime, something you also have to worry about, not for the executions, as I've already stated numerous times, but because of the fact that they can stumble you so much. Not just them, they unleash these combat drones that release these sort of missile-like, I guess you could say, tech bursts at you that stumble you as well, which is a little bit unfortunate. Alright, let's see if I can... There are people. Well, not really people per se, but you get what I'm saying. Pyro must be dead. Oh, there's a Geth Prime. Let's get in there and wreck it. So as you can see, the Prime has a sort of heavy melee attack that stumbles you pretty easily, so you have to be a bit careful about it. Although it is pretty nice the way I have this class spec'd out. Basically, how I have it spec'd out is Biotic Charge does a pretty amount of damage, I would say, and it also refills my barriers 100% each charge, and it has a fast cooldown rate due to the fact that I have, I don't know, just this one weapon equipped, and yeah, it's pretty lightweight, so you get the full 200% recharge speed, so it recharges fast. And bonus for the Biotic Charge is that you are invincible while you're using it. So nothing can kill you while you're in the middle of it. As soon as you get out of it, something can kill you, however, and that can be quite unfortunate with the timing. But it happens. It happens. I would say the executions are one of the huge downsides of the Vanguard. The other is, it is a very, very difficult class to play off host. The reason being, your powers don't activate when you need them to half the time. Very unfortunate, especially considering how often you're going to be in their face in close quarters environment. And when you're in that sort of situation, you need the powers to activate when you say they do. Any sort of delay could be the difference between life or death in those kinds of situations. As I'm sure I previously stated before with the whole situation and why I'm not doing gold. But the way I have the Nova spec'd out, as I'm sure you could already tell, I have it spec'd so that way it only gets rid of 50% of the barrier, so that means I can use it twice. At the cost of 40% damage and force, but if you use it twice, it's pretty much just a 20% force and damage boost. So, you know, that's a good thing. I also have it spec'd to where it does an additional 100% damage to barriers, shields, and armors. So, that is very, very good, especially for killing bosses. And this guy is stuck, so let me just do that. Another good thing about the Charge and Nova is that they both stagger enemies. Very, very good. Because that gives you enough time basically to set up the combos without having to worry too much about getting obliterated in between each combo, or each chain or hit in the combo. Let's see here, I have the Biotic Charge spec so that I get a 40% damage and force buff in Biotics. So basically, as soon as I do a charge for the next 10 seconds, my Novas do 40% additional damage, which is very nice. So, yeah, that's pretty much how I have this spec'd out. I am using the Locust, I think. And no, I do not have any sort of attachments or ammo bonuses or buffs or anything like that. Mostly because this isn't really a weapon-based class. It's more about the biotics than anything. So there really is no need to buff it, especially or put any ammo bonuses on it. Especially considering that I'm playing on silver. If I were playing on gold, yeah, you probably want to put it on, because every little bit will help there. Oh, look at me giving advice, even though I had just started playing the game about a week ago. And I don't know, I've pretty much been playing this class exclusively, so I guess I know at least a little bit about it. At least I know how to spec it, and all that stuff. Still haven't gotten quite the, I guess, timing down of when to charge and when to leave it alone, because too many times have I charged into a situation in which I get stumbled about 6 times and I'm just instantly dead. That is not fun. Not by a long shot. Alright, so hopefully if this Volus Engineer is smart. He detonated it anyways. Basically, he's using a recon mine, and if memory serves correctly, I believe using the recon mine basically gives a damage buff to. It's hard to explain. Damage buff from all sources. Can't remember if that's true or not, but I think it is. In which case, it is very nice if he keeps the mine there, so that way I get even more of a damage buff, so to speak. Yeah, as you can see, gameplay is a bit repetitive with this class. You pretty much just charge in, Nova the freaking crap out of everything, rinse and repeat over and over and over. And I mean, that's what this class was built for. It was built for doing this. If that wasn't the case, then they wouldn't have made it so that Nova was on a separate cooldown. Yeah, Human Vanguard, very, very deadly class, especially when you're on host. If you're off host, probably not the best idea to use it, especially considering the delay between the abilities that you'll be using. I mean, especially considering how the Nova reduces your barriers as it is, it would be very bad if you got a delay between when you could use the charge right after you use both your Novas because you're left with no barriers. Very, very bad. Not a good situation to be in. So if you are a host, yeah, I would definitely recommend this class. Very, very strong class. Very good. You just gotta make sure you know when to book it out of there. Which, like I said, I have no concept of when I'm supposed to do that. I just assume that I am this unstoppable force, and just constantly charge in without really giving it any second thought. Alright, that was pretty easy. So another Geth Prime, yep. Yep, it definitely looks like there is a damage buff, so long as that recon mine is active. So it would be nice if that's a Volus engineer would keep the recon mines on, so that way we could just get a damage buff all the way around. Yeah, that was weak, but whatever. If we could get the damage buff all around, that would be very useful, but I guess he just feels like detonating it. Alright, if there is a combat drone nearby, then that means that there is a Geth Prime nearby. And that was, unfortunately, an example of your abilities not activating when you need them to. Even when you're on host, it can happen sometimes. I don't know what causes it. It's freaking annoying, but you just gotta deal with it. And as I'm sure you could probably tell, I have got friggin' stumbled too many times. That's also a situation in which you could see this is the situation I'm talking about. Get stumbled too much, and my abilities aren't activating too, so it's pretty much a double whammy of screw you, Norse, you're gonna die. Oh, well, that hurt. Not entirely sure what happened there. Since usually what happens is it gets rid of your barriers with that hit, and then that leaves you open to getting hit more, and that's usually what does the damage. Like, your last bit of barriers will take up the full brunt of the attack, and then afterwards you start taking damage, so I'm not entirely sure what caused that. So many Geth Primes. Stop stumbling me, I'm supposed to be stumbling you. So annoying. I guess that shouldn't be a problem now that the Prime is dead. Alright, that wasn't too bad, even though I went down twice. probably be a little bit more careful with what you're charging into there, buddy. Alright, power's activated. That's good. Yeah, Geth are also a very good enemy to go up against, as I am sure I have already stated 1,000 times, but reiteration for emphasis. They cannot execute you. There is not a single enemy that they have that can execute you. Very, very good for this class. And by the looks of things, we already finished. About 15 minutes. Usually this is how long silver and bronze runs take. Usually around 12 to 15 minutes. 12 minutes, especially for the bronze. You know, not as many enemies, so it's a lot easier to go through the waves. Pretty much uncontested. He got me backed up against the wall. That's not good, because he can just keep hitting me with the melee. Keep stumbling me. Sort of want to back away once you start using the Nova, so that way it still does the damage, but you can sort of get away from the heavy melee so that way they don't stumble you. Alright, let's see what the issue is. Well, something is obliterating my barriers, and I'm not entirely sure what. It's freaking annoying. Pyro took a long time to die. Alright, time to head back to the extraction point. Oh, Geth Prime is dead. Okay, I was going to use a rocket launcher on it, but I guess not. And there we go. Full extraction, very nice. And 17 minutes, 17 and a half minutes. Not too bad at all. Or at least in my opinion. So anyways, yeah, I guess you could say this was my first Mass Effect 3 multiplayer gameplay. I imagine that if I do more of these, you're going to be seeing a lot more of the human vanguard for now, because I don't know, it sort of seems like, well, at least with the other classes that I have unlocked, it requires a lot, or it relies heavily on having good weaponry, and I'm actually surprised I didn't get first. Usually I get first when I'm the human vanguard, but whatever. I think I still did alright, so yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you later.